you guys, welcome back to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin. I do suburban gardening in East Central Florida, and it is the third week of September. I believe it said it was the 18th. Wow, this month is flying. But what am I coming in here? Okay, I need like a stick, maybe a gardening post or a dowel, and my goal is, I'm gonna keep it kind of light because it's like after lunchtime, and I see a storm is on the horizon right over there, but I don't want to let the day go completely by without getting something in the ground. That's the problem with when you start 1,000 plants. You have to plant 1,000 plants, or mostly. I have a couple friends that took some and had maybe a dozen or so die, mostly like broccoli I saw die, and some blanket flower. But anyhow, what we're gonna do, let me show you where we're going. This is house garden right here, and I've already, a couple days ago, I dumped some mushroom compost right here. This is specifically the little path we're going to be working on for the next 15-20 minutes. And of course, I got to get weeds out. It wouldn't be gardening without some weeds. But after that, maybe I should get some gloves too. But what I'm going to do is spread the compost down, and then I'm going to grab some of my bunching onions. So here are my bunching onions that I've already started seeding out. They're about 6 weeks. They got some good roots on the bottom. They're plenty ready to go in the ground. I'm probably a week or two late, maybe, if you wanted to, be picky about it. But any time's a good time as long as they're still alive and there's new ground. All right, I'm not going to be too picky about the weeds because the compost will cover a good many of them. I just want to get the tall weeds out of here. It's a really easy job. I can feel the temperatures are starting to cool off a little bit. It's not quite as hot today, although it didn't start off. Our nights are not as cold as I would love them to be yet, but the days are nice and cooler. I'm just going to gently rake some of this compost into the new area. They do have a drip line in here, and I probably need to pull out this black plastic maybe today if I have enough time. But right now I'm just going to worry about getting these little guys in there, putting I don't know, maybe 2 inches of a top layer of compost down. Now this has a lot of nutrition. It's got gypsum in it. It's got can have horse, but I think this one has chicken manure a little bit in it, and whatever amendments they put into it to grow the mushrooms. But when it comes out of the mushroom farm, it's still very, very nutritious for everything else. And the onions will get, I don't know about the bunching onions. This is last year's bunching onions. So I'm not 100% certain if I may fertilize these depending on how they look. If they look if they look weak or something like that, I may throw some ammonium sulfate on them when I do the big onions. But for the most part, this area is, just for little bitty bunching onions. I'll probably succession sow another bunch in November. So this is just the first bunch for right now. And if I remember right, my drip tape is right, where did I see it? Come on, where? Oh, right here. Okay. I don't really want to have to pull it out, but I do need to kind of see where it is. Okay. So I'm not, since these are bunching and not like big onions, I'm just going to do little holes every few inches. And then I'm going to grab out my onions here. Let's see, this side is the white one, so let's grab the red ones. They kind of come out as a block, usually. Okay, something like that. There we go. And then I'll just, if I can, I'll start with the biggest ones. I'll just drop them down in the hole and cover them. And I just repeat the process. Let's see. These roots are plenty long. Let's see. Let's get a new hole. Okay. I thought it was there. I already made it, but I couldn't find it. Okay. And then I'll just keep going down the line. And I think I said these are warrior bunching red onions, and I'm actually going to keep them kind of close. I don't have to worry about, you know, just keeping them right onto the drip line, because we're still in our rainy season, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine, even once we go to the dry season, as long as they root in right now while it's still wet for the next month. There's the little roots and development on them, and I just throw them down. I don't even know if you call that like a full inch, but I'm not being very, you know, careful and measuring about that. That's okay. I've found that these guys just pop right back up very quickly. All right, let's do a row over here. So that's pretty simple. That's all I'm doing, you guys. Hardest part is keeping track of your onions. For real. Like, don't lose them. The ones you pulled apart. You pull them apart, and sometimes you can, if you don't have any tools or anything, just stick your finger down there and just get them down. Oh, I feel that wind coming. All right. And just keep going every few inches, because these will not get, I mean, you're looking at year-old ones right here. So, you know, you don't have to worry about these needing 6 inches or 4 to 6 inches like a large onion would. These are fine at, you know, just a couple maybe 2 inches between them. I will say, just in case it's not clear for everybody, you know, we got a lot of new gardeners, especially in the state of Florida, and everything's so different here compared to the rest of the United States. But this is no-till. You can till. I have tilled, but I'm not tilling today. Just literally laying down. This soil's pretty good. I don't want to mess up what all the good bacteria and good bugs are underneath there. Oop, here's the last. I told you, don't lose your onions. And anyhow, yeah, what's going to happen is that these are laying over right now, but they're going to perk up here in a day or two. They'll get rain today and tomorrow. We're expected rain every single day in the forecast. And so these guys will be standing right up before I know it. they'll be very perky. They'll start putting on some growth to them. And it won't matter whether I tilled, didn't till. Yeah, this is about as simple as onion gardening gets. You know, I just got to thinking, I didn't say anything, but you can direct sow your bunching onions. It's not too late. You can do that. You can, like I said, you can succession sow. It's never too late. You can do these all winter, and they will even do well in a frost, in a light frost. Not one of those super hard 20-degree freezes, but for the most part, onions do pretty good all winter here in Central Florida, which is where I am. Alrighty, so we have about, you know, maybe an 8-foot row right there, and I have extra compost here and here, which is all right. And over here, this is going to be spread out this way next, or one of the next things. But also the very next thing is I'm going to go ahead and pull this black tarp up. Uh-oh, got a little bit of it underneath this cage, under that cage. Let's see if we can get that pulled up. Yep, we're just gonna pull it back, give me some space to think and to amend, at least for this far. And the reason for that being, I think better with a clear palette. Then also I need to pull these weeds, and I have a lot of shallots. So originally I was thinking of putting the shallots over here, and that may still happen right here in this row, and then the lettuce here. But as I'm working this, and I have onions right here, I'm thinking, maybe do I want to put the shallots here? But it does have a lot more shade to it on this side of the garden. So I'm going to take a minute to think about that while I pull these weeds. And then I'll be making some decisions. I still think, I don't know. And look at this eggplant, would you? It's a year old. It's a beautiful Black Beauty eggplant. If I come on this side, you'll see it has blooms everywhere. It's easier to see on this side, especially with the sun, everywhere. And it's got eggplants everywhere, and it's been doing this for a month, 6 weeks. There's eggplants down there. Oh, hold on, I don't want to break. There we go. Can you see that? Okay. It's beautiful, but it's growing into my chicken coop walkway, at least for now, until this all gets torn down. So, and it's going into my lettuce section. I don't know, and I don't want to hinder it, because if it's growing good, it looks like it's, I mean, look at it, there's no beetle damage or anything. I think I'm just going to let it take its path, or support it with a stake and keep it a little bit over there. But you know, so this gives me a whole row right here to work with for lettuce and other things, and then I have like a 2/3 row right here. So I'm gonna go back to the drawing board with my paper and pen that I put my original notes on, and I'm gonna see, just make sure I'm not forgetting whatever I said I was gonna grow in here. I want to make sure it's just like shallots, lettuce. We're going to do a little market gardening up here Okay, be back in a minute. And it's just sort of a rough guess of where to put things, and this is for the house garden. So I put my bunching onions right down in here, and I could still put the carrots in a long row, but then I still have, I know this looks weird because it's not exactly right, but there's like another long row and then the 2/3 row that I showed you. So and of course the brassicas are in there at all, and I didn't put the onions there. Nothing's like it is. Come to think of it, I changed my mind a lot then. I guess in a perfect world I would have rewrote this, but anyhow, my eyes have landed on Swiss chard, and then a Salanova is very important. Okay, there's a squash that I was telling you about that is now back there. So I have shallots and Swiss chard and salad are really important in here. Carrots, kind of important, but not, I mean, I still can wait another week or two on those. So I think what I might do is, I've narrowed it down to shallots and Swiss chard for today to go in this little section. I think I'm going to do the shallots. That way the shallots and the bunching onions can all be together. And then I'll just put the Swiss chard here across that 2/3 row. Or Swiss chard and something else too. You know, like, just depends on what else I got going on. But for sure, I think we'll move the Swiss chard there. But I'll do that tomorrow, or no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's already extremely busy. Wednesday. Probably these two on Wednesday. Okay, let's get the shallots in. Put things of like together. As you can see, it's full sun over here right now. And once that coop's gone, it'll get a lot more sun too. Which, you know, hopefully that happens pretty soon. We've just been waiting for the temps to drop, and that seems like that might be happening this week, huh? Here's my squash that I was telling you about. It's got a little bit of weeds in here. But doing good. It's getting ready to bloom pretty soon. Maybe another week or two. Cucumbers are right there. Tomatoes, tomatillos at the end. So this is where I want to put my Swiss chard, my Salanovas, and then probably don't need the full row, so I might put some carrots on in here too. Although that can be, the only reason why I question maybe that's not so good is because when these squash really take off, they can definitely climb and grow this way, and they can cover up baby carrots quickly. And baby carrots need sunlight. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, you guys, well, I'm done with the shallots, and really I'm kind of done until I need to put in some more compost here. It's a wheelbarrow, but I don't want to do that. It's like 3 o'clock right now. But what I need to do is, tomorrow is garbage debris pickup for me, and I have all those pumpkin vines up front. And so I thought what we might do is close out the video with me picking them up and getting them, well, you don't need to see me putting them out to the street, but just getting them moved out of the way. All right, so the kids moved the pumpkins out of North Garden, and I'm not concerned with like all of this at one time, but I definitely need to clear up some area. I need to mow in here. I need to get it off the fence, and man, that peanut butter tree is coming through the fence too. I need to kind of clip that. But anyhow, I think I'll just move it over to one corner, let it continue to die. All this can go in a garbage can. I only have 2 cans available for the rest of the pickup here. And then also hopefully this week I'm getting the onions, the big onions, put in right here. It's been 3 years, maybe even 4 years since I have had onions in this little section, so that's what we're gonna do. And just clean up the place. I mean, it looks it looks rough, doesn't it? All right, let me start pulling vines. Guys, this is the end of the video, the end of the day. I'm going in and getting cleaned up, and so this back side, this is North Garden right here. It gave me a fit, and I just decided to turn off the cameras. I'm sorry if it seems a little lacking, because it was, but sometimes you just got to work on these things slowly. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, you don't want a camera on you. I'm fighting those veins, man. Have any of you ever done the rowboat at like a gym, and you're like pulling this side and pulling that side? Man, my obliques gotta work out with those vines, but it is all completely gone. Here's what's left of the vines. I filled up 3 of the 4 garbage cans with the rest of the debris in the vines. I took a mower to a little bit of this. I pulled the tape back, swept this section, mowed just this little area in here that has been covered with vines for, you know, 2 months at least. But it's done. It was ugly. It was not fun. I had to go in the house. I almost threw up in the yard. It wasn't fun. I'm laughing now, but I wasn't laughing at the moment. I really did almost throw up. So anyhow, it's done now for the most part. These vines can die back. Those can go to wherever the city takes them, or county. And you know, tomorrow's another day. But we got we got the bunching onions in, and we got the shallots in, and that's great. And now we have our place cleared for the large onions, and then whatever else we choose to do in the backside. But I'm just happy to see another garden getting cleaned up, getting ready for the fall planting. So you guys take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.